Looks like it's all up the hill. My favourite. So I'm looking for a giant boulder. It's about the size of a house and it's supposed to be at the top of this hill. I haven't found it yet, and I've been here once before, but it was quite a while ago, and my plan is to camp on top of it. But this is a really beautiful place, lovely lake, very popular for trout fishing. I'm going to give it a go tomorrow. Pack's a little bit heavier than I want it to be, somewhere near the 30 kilo mark, and that's mostly because of camera gear and water, because there's going to be no water up there, so having to cart in a lot of water, not so much fun, but I'm sure we'll get there soon. And there it is, a giant boulder. I'm joking, it's over there, you can probably see it. Big, bigger than I remember. Wow. Yep. Some say it's actually a fossilised ogre turd, just left here. Somehow survived the winters, but there was an old ladder going up there. You can kind of see that that is definitely not what I'd be using. In fact, that is the ladder I used the last time I came here 5 years ago. I was going up that wooden ladder, but it didn't look like that. There's a fireplace. Someone's obviously been making some food here, because it is like something that's popular to visit on the hiking trail. But we're probably going to need to stock up the wood supply. Ideally, I should be camping down there under the boulder. Looks like they've got a new ladder, so climb at your own risk. Swear I just saw something big and brown. Well, I'm going to leave my pack down here because I'm not prepared to take all my gear up there until I'm comfortable that I want to go up there. So let's see how this goes. Jesus, this is not good. So here we are at the top. The ladder doesn't actually feel too bad, really. I mean, it is a sort of fair distance down. I mean, if you fell, you'd be screwed, really. So looks all right up here. I mean, it's pretty flat. I think here would be a good place to camp. Maybe my head there, feet there, and then if something comes up the ladder, it'll just drag me straight off the edge. And you know, obviously I'm joking, but yeah, it's pretty beautiful here. It's going to be a clear night. Maybe, yeah. It's a lot colder than you'd imagine when the wind's rolling in straight up there. So camping at the top of a boulder's probably one of the dumbest ideas I've had, but I've always wanted to camp on top of there. I gathered some bark on the way in, got some logs here. These are all going to last about 5 seconds. I really want a cup of tea, maybe going to make some food, and yeah, going to gather some wood. I said there was no water up here, but check it out. I thought there might be. I looked at the map and I saw this muir here, this bog, and thought, maybe, but you just can't be sure, can you? You can't take the chance hiking all this way and having no water. It didn't look like a long hike, but it was about, well, it wasn't that long. It was about 4 kilometres from the vehicle, because I couldn't park that near as I wanted to. But now I know there's water. That's good. Got my meal bank bag with me. Can always filter more. Nice. Telling you, something's out there. Could be old Yogi B. Worst part is, I bet he's got a semi, and then when he sees me, he's going to be enraged. Should do me for a while. Gonna get some lunch on. Pretty hungry actually. I had a big brunch and I thought, nah, I'll be fine until dinner. I packed a little bit of extra food, and I'm glad I did. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I am getting some weird vibes off this place. I don't know whether there's just some mystical energy coming off this thing, or just, yeah, just getting a weird vibe. Just getting a weird vibe. But I'm gonna get a fire on anyway. See if we can get this stuff lit. This is always the best kind of stuff, this really fine wispy birch. Time for a cup of tea. You all knew that, so don't pretend. When the sun comes out, it does feel better here actually. Maybe it's just the weather. That's what I'll tell myself. It's lovely to hear a bit of bird song now, given the long winter's over and a lot of the migratory birds are here, which is great. Oh, that makes everything feel better. They've got some biscoff as well. Ooh, these are dangerously good. I'm glad they started selling those in Ica. What I mean is I foraged those earlier. But I'll be honest with you, I'm not relaxed here at all. I'm sort of scanning around and I'm hearing stuff, and I thought I've seen a few things, and it's just one of those locations where normally I wouldn't stay here. Normally if I was in a location like this and I have that gut feeling I do now, I don't stay in these places. But you know, I'm here now, and I'm going to be on top of a giant boulder, which makes me feel a little bit more comfortable. I just keep having this vision of just seeing this massive semi like come around the corner over there, and like seeing it for a while before I see him, you know, Bigfoot, and then it's game over. Like something's going down, and it's me on him unwillingly, and I just have to remember this is the only way I'm getting out of this alive. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm going to cook some food up now, some real food, not biscoff. A little DIY project of mine, so I could pretend to be a lollipop man out in the wilderness. Put a new frame on the LK. Found this steel frame at like a second-hand store, Sälligråda, here in Sweden. You get loads of these kind of shops like that, and they have this great frame with legs at the bottom. It stands up, there's loads of space to put stuff behind. It's kind of the thing about the LK is the space in the pack is limited. So if you're carrying a lot of equipment like I am at this moment in time, you know, you really want to be saving some space in the pack, really. I'm putting some gear on the outside, so like that pan can just hang there and it doesn't touch my back or interfere with it at all, which is kind of probably unbelievable if you're looking at it, but genuinely it doesn't. So yeah, very comfy. Max will love that. You wouldn't think it's about 7:30 in the evening now. I'm going to retire onto the Boulder and at least get everything set up. I may come back down here by the fire. I've just been walking around having a look at stuff, doing some jobs, processing some wood, getting ready for the morning. If somebody else comes another day, then they've got wood if I don't use it all, which I'm sure I won't. So yeah, there's that too. But yeah, I'm going to get up there and get set up. Going up there with a pack on is not that enjoyable, to be honest. Going down it with a pack on is going to... I think I am gonna basically put my bivvy here, have my head that end, which looks pretty good, but it isn't super warm up here, I'll be honest with you. It's a very stupid place to camp, let's just put it that way. I've got my bivvy bag here, Dutch Army one, and the Neo Air X Therm. This is the sleeping bag, which is the Polar Ranger. This is a beast, this thing. Packs down very small as well. I always take this pad with me. You can see it pretty much everywhere I go at the bottom of my pack, even for day hikes and stuff. It's just so useful to have something like this. And you don't want to be putting these air mats on the ground It's a pretty nice setup really. I don't use the Bivi as much as I used to because of the insects like the mosquitoes and stuff in the summer. Usually 5 pumps and it's done, like its owner. That's it. Well, now I'm up here, I've decided I'm going to stay here. It's coming up to about 8:30 in the evening, and I'm probably going to be in bed by let's say 10. So I'm just going to be up here for a while. I'm going to cook some food. I brought a little rocket stove with me, a little pocket rocket, not that kind of pocket rocket, this kind, and it just means I don't have to sort of worry about making a fire up here and everything else. So I think first things first, we all know what time it is, you know. I'm up here safely. I did message my wife. She was like, you better make sure you message me before you climb the ladder and after you climb the ladder, and I did just that, and she's happy now. So yeah, cup of tea time. Ooh, don't he be doing that, mate. Don't he be doing that. Well, as you can see, sun is on its way down. It's coming up to about 10 o'clock at night, so kind of getting to my bedtime. Gonna get in bed and warm up a bit. I'm just warming up some water in the Pathfinder bottle. Gonna wrap that in a shirt and then put it in a little bag, chuck it in the bottom, just warm my feet up a bit. It's always the feet that take the longest for me to heat up, so that just kind of fast tracks it, gets me up to temperature, and then you know, and then I can chuck it out and cast it aside, and I'll be fine. So yeah, should be hopefully a peaceful night, but it'll be bright and sunny again at about 3 AM, so I'll try and get as much sleep as I can. But it's flipping cold now. It's dropping to about, I think it's probably around -5 now, and every time the wind blusters in, it gets really, really cold. So gonna get tuckered up in bed. Wear my clothes for a while, dry them off. Basically, it's the way it's gonna have to be. Gonna have to generate quite a bit of heat in this bag and just get it nice and dry. Oh, it's comfy now, I'm gonna say that. Gosh. Well, it's bright and early in the morning, as you can probably see. I was going to do a time lapse last night, but it was getting daylight again by about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. So there wasn't really much to see. I stayed up, I looked at the sky, at the stars for a little while, but there wasn't really that much darkness. And even though they even said the northern lights are out, you couldn't really see anything. Just too light. It's getting to that time of year where it will literally be 24-hour daylight quite soon. But that does make staying out and fishing and being outside more enjoyable in a way, because you lose track of time and just end up fishing by a lake, and you suddenly look at your watch and it's 1 o'clock in the morning. But anyway, that might not be for everyone, but this is a beautiful place to wake up, absolutely stunning. And it's not too windy this morning, and but it is flipping freezing. It is really cold. I'm going to make myself a brew. The LK's still going pretty strong. It's still a pretty decent pack for when you're going out for a few days. When you're going out for longer, sort of room inside the pack begins to run out for things like clothing and everything else. Now, to expand room on the pack, obviously you start strapping things to the outside, like these big straps at the top. You can put an entire tent up there, and that's kind of where you want the heavy stuff to be, up top on a frame pack, not down below. If you're ever playing around at home, not like that, but like with gear on a frame pack, try it in a different way if you're not familiar with it. Obviously, if you are, then ignore me. But if you load all the heavy equipment to the bottom, you know, things that weigh a lot, like perhaps a tent and everything else, and then put the pack on, it will feel monumentally heavier than if you load all the heavy stuff at the top and as close to your body as possible. Like yesterday, obviously I trekked up here with close to like 30 kilos on my back, you know, with you know, and that's a lot of weight for me. It might not be for you, but for me 30 kilos is way more, you know, that's about 10k than I'd normally like it to be, really, because of camera equipment and having to bring water up here, because I didn't realise there was water up here. So, you know, it was pretty heavy, really, and yeah, it just wasn't really particularly comfortable. But that's just the reality of packing for like filming a trip, you know. You've got a drone controller just in the top there, and it's kind of fragile, and I've got to be careful with it. One of these side pockets is taken up with camera equipment, so the pack is ultimately lighter and very different when I'm not filming. So you know, the LK can be a bit tight for space, but the advantages of it are that if you have these big straps at the top, you can put an entire tent up there, and it's a great place to have it because of the weight. And you know, you end up saving a lot of room. Like that Bivi bag rolled up with that roll mat is about the same size as and if not bigger than some of the tents I rolled around with in the summer. So you end up saving tons of space for food and everything else. And at the top here, I always keep my food bag just there, which has like lots of stuff in it. It also has a little bit of hygiene stuff in it as well. They're like perishable things that are replaceable, and you know, and it works pretty well for me. So in the winter there, you just pull a sled basically, so you don't actually have to have a pack on your back at all. Pulling a sled around, you can just load it up with loads of equipment. So to be honest, traveling in the winter, you know, it's not the same as the summer at all. Actually, it's easier to pack for the winter actually. But anyway, I'm going to try and get off this rock without dying. Gosh, that is not nice. I'm going to be honest with you, this is not. There's someone who doesn't like heights. This is horrendous with a pack on. I'm coming back for the camera. Can't do this all at once, it's too much equipment. See what the old pond water's like, or bog water. These muirs are always really treacherous. They actually claim a lot of lives. Generally they claim some lives every year. Not necessarily what you're seeing here, that this will be very boggy and my foot could potentially disappear up to my knees in this, but you get massive wide open areas of muirs, and the ones you've got to look out for is when you see no grass and you see no trees at all. You just literally have like moss everywhere, because they can be 20 meters deep or they can be 20 centimeters deep, and people walk over them and bloop, you're gone. You're not swimming out of that. Sometimes people drive machines, snowmobiles. I've even seen, like, you know, as sad as it is, like in the winter when they're frozen, like people take shortcuts in like big machinery, and it drops through the ice. So, you know, they're just, in general, they're just like pretty sketchy. So if you came to Sweden and you were really unfamiliar of what you were seeing and you thought, oh look, you know, we don't have to go through the woods, there's a massive open area there, we can just go straight across it. You'll start walking across it and it will start bloop, bloop, going like this, and then, you know, if you go through that, you're toast. It literally, well, not literally, because you wouldn't like suddenly end up in like a toaster underground getting cooked, but we've got some water here. There must be some springs because we're about 500 meters up, and there is a river or a little stream further down, so it probably all originates from here. That water is flipping freezing. Let that soak for a bit. That should take away all the crap anyway, at least give me some clean water. You've got to sniff every one. This pine's come down. You can see it's been down for a while, but the fat wood you get off these things is insane. If you want to boil some water really quickly, or you just want to carry something, and you know, you really want to be cutting in much deeper than that, but I'm just going to chuck these on the fire. Hack that one out a bit more. Look at that. Amazing. There we go. Time to blow this joint. Fare thee well, Mega Boulder. Fare thee well. Well, I shall not be spending another night there. I plan on doing some trout fishing today, and hopefully catch some food for lunch, but also with the intention of taking a lot of it home, putting it in the freezer. We'll see how it goes, really. I mean, to be honest with you, I wouldn't mind getting a load of perch as well, because you know, it's so easy to catch, and you can, you know, I actually quite like eating the little ones too. It's not about the size, right? Not when it comes to eating anyway. Or think what you want of that. But yeah, that was a beautiful place to camp. If there was a lake there, would have definitely spent another night, but I did check the map, and yeah, the nearest lake, as I say, is back where the Jeep is, like about 5 kilometers away. Well, four actually, like 4 kilometers away. So, you know, it's not really worth hiking all the way back there, then coming back up here again to spend another night here. But what a great night. A lot of little bodies of water around here though. Definitely remember that for next time. All really worth checking in the summer to see whether they're all still there, because obviously a lot of it's from the melt. Whoa. There he is. Are you okay? You weren't molested by anyone, were you, while I was gone? Well, if I catch any really good trout, or any trout at all actually, because where I'm going they're not that big, I'll put it online. They're mostly just going to go in the freezer for me to eat at home. I will be camping one more night somewhere else tonight. I actually might spend that night in the Jeep, because obviously I have like a bed in the back and everything, and predominantly where I'm fishing I'll be parked right next to the lake, so it's kind of more of a kind of glamping experience, you know, where I'm going to be fishing and cooking at the back of the truck with the setup and everything. So, you know, that would be really nice. But yeah, I mean, I do obviously enjoy all sorts of types of camping, not just backpacking and using the LK and the basic bush kit and stuff. But anyway, look, I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, I'll see you again real soon, hopefully. So you won't see me now actually for definitely for 3 weeks, because I'm going away in the Jeep to the North Cap. I'm doing a solo trip up there. The last solo trip I did in this like long trip, I mean, was 2020, so it's 2025 now. I've got the opportunity, the kids are a bit older, everything, so I'm going to be, yeah, heading north and sort of documenting that on the other channel. So not that you have to watch that, you know, just saying, you won't see me on here for a few weeks because of that. So anyway, take care of yourselves, thanks for watching, I'll see you again real soon.